Boxing truth here. HBO's Jim Lampley this past weekend just revealed to the boxing world that Mikey Garcia all along is under Al Haymon's control. Mikey Garcia is most likely being advised by Al Haymon, guiding his career, offering the opponents, and is under Al Haymon's control. It will need Al Haymon's permission to fight the defining fights that he's been asking for. The unifications against the Georgia Linares, and a potential big money fight against Lomachenko, who is guided by Top Rank. Those fights are going to be very hard to make if everything what Jim Lampley is saying is true, that Mikey needs Al Haymon's permission in order to fight these guys. I just pretty much lost a lot of faith in Mikey Garcia getting these defining fights, the fights that the boxing fans are clamoring to see him in, and that's the Georgia Linares unification at lightweight, and also a big fight against Vasyl Lomachenko, what will be some type of grudge match since Mikey left Top Rank and is now pretty much a Haymon client, a Haymon fighter. This whole fucking time he's been under the guidance of Haymon. It's not surprising. It was pretty much expected that Mikey had to sign some sort of agreement since he was given a slot on the undercard of a big show on Showtime, and Haymon runs Showtime. So if you want that type of slot, that type of opportunity to fight for a world title, and just your second fight back following a hiatus and a litigation with Top Rank, then most likely you're going to have to sign some sort of agreement with a powerful entity. In this case, Mikey Garcia is now under control of Al Haymon and will need his permission to get these fights. And there are downsides to signing with an Al Haymon. Sure, he'll get you some money, he'll get you a date, but he hasn't. This downside is that he can't always get you the fights that you need to get you to another level. He can't always get you the opportunities to help you become a bigger star. And the fights that Mikey Garcia is asking for just seems like a whole lot harder to make now that Al Haymon is involved in his career. I just lost a lot of faith in Mikey Garcia being involved in these significant fights. We have yet to see Al Haymon and Top Rank willingly make a big fight without the control of the sanctioning bodies. We have yet to see Golden Boy and Al Haymon make a fight without involving fighters like Khan and Chavez. Those guys are big names, but when it comes to this type of fight, this fight is not pay-per-view between a Linares and a Mikey Garcia. Pay-per-view was involved when it came to Khan and Canelo, and now Canelo Chavez Jr. The platform won't be there in a potential Linares-Garcia fight. That fight is simply not big enough for the pay-per-view platform. So, as a result, I expect Garcia to take an in-house fight with an Al Haymon client later this year. The only way the Linares fight will happen if the WBC mandates it. And even then, that's still not guaranteed that the fight will be made. The parties will have to come to a deal. If they can't come to a deal, a purse bid will be issued. But now that these turn of events, now all of a sudden I understand why people in the industry hardly don't see. They don't really see a Linares Garcia fight happening or a Lomachenko Garcia fight happening anytime soon. And now I know why, because of Haymon's involvement. It's going to make these fights a lot harder to make. And most likely Garcia, if this is true that he's being controlled under Haymon, most likely we'll keep it in-house. We'll fight a Haymon client in his next title defense. And Linares will go another direction. Golden Boy will look to make a unification with Flanagan. That's a money fight on the platform of Frank Warren's BT Sport. It's an easier fight since Mikey Garcia is a threat to Linares' reign at lightweight. And Mikey Garcia will most likely be offered a unification with Robert Easter Jr. down the line. It's not a bad fight. It's a good fight, but the fights that we want to see for Mikey Garcia is a Lomachenko fight and the Linares unification. But But it is what it is. Appears that Mikey Garcia is under Al Haymon's control and will have to fight whoever Al Haymon allows him to fight. So much for that. So much for these marquee matchups being made. Just a bunch of shit talking, names being thrown out there. Lomachenko's side, at least Igis Klimas is interested in matching Loma against Mikey, but of course Arum has to offer Mikey Garcia to Lomachenko for that fight to really be made. Al Haymon has to be on board. Al Haymon has to allow Mikey to fight a Lomachenko or Linares, and right now those fights are extremely hard to make, and for the time being, not likely, at least for the immediate future. So much for that, right? Fucking boxing. This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.